I hope this session will also be very much enjoying. So without wasting the time, I'm handing over to
Is the screen visible from all the bodies? No, ma'am. So yes, the screen has to be tracked. What has to be done? Someone please come and help me.
एक बच्चा और जो साथ में
संगीता जी, मारुति पाटिल को बुला लीजिए ना, लाइट्स के स्विच ऑफ करने हैं। मारुति पाटिल या किसी को बुला लीजिए। Good morning, my dear students. Well, I said good morning, my dear students. I would like to have all your attention towards this side.
please be quiet.
All your examination and everything is over. No chit-chatting. You can discuss the answers later. Let us not waste time because if we start late, it's like a chain reaction. Everything will go late in the entire day. So, without wasting further time, we are again, yesterday we had one class in bio. That was on blood group, Irish factors, ABO blood group, genetics associated with that. Today, my topic is completely different from that. We are right now entering into a very classical field of bio, which is like bio is inevitably associated with various human physiological processes. One of the most important physiological processes in human is reproduction. As you may have, as I said, as I know that many of you are from class 10 and you are having already a chapter on reproduction. And the students also are from class 9. They also have learned about reproduction to some extent in their previous classes, in the junior classes. Basic idea is there, I understand. But we are now, our topic is not reproduction exactly. Our topic is, as usual, here you have not come to learn the thing that is exactly there in your textbook or syllabus. That will be done in your school. We are here to give you one step ahead knowledge on whatever we are going to deal with. Here, I am not going to deal with how fertilization happens because that is known to you already, I hope. We are going to discuss if fertilization is not happening where it should happen, when people expect it to happen, but it doesn't happen with them. The life becomes traumatized, life becomes difficult for them. So biology is not only to learn about the processes, learn about the medical aspects of various diseases, but also how to, there is a biomedical science also where we see that biomedical engineering sciences also is there to help in understanding how technologically we can help to come out of those problems. So my topic today is infertility and the rescuing process of infertility called as assisted reproductive technology, in short ART. ART. So we will go into the discussion of how the infertility can be reached or can be overcome. But before that, I guess we have to understand what is infertility in the first place. So this is the first thing first. What is reproduction in nutshell? As you can see, a woman with 46 chromosomes in all the cells, 23 pairs. Yesterday also I told there are 23 pairs of chromosomes in each and every cell we have. Similarly, a man again with 23 pairs of chromosomes will produce the gamete side is called as sperm. Gamete from the female side is called as egg. Now, the egg, which is obviously the female gamete, will be a product of meiosis. I will give you an understanding of what is meiosis in very short. Just give me a moment. This is a male gamete, sperm. This is a female gamete, egg. They are the product of meiosis. And since they are the product of meiosis, meiosis is also called as reduction division. Reduction division means the chromosome will become half. 46 will become 23. So, egg will have 23 chromosomes, sperm will have 23 chromosomes. Now, these two gametes will fuse with each other, which is called as syngamy, technically, which is commonly called as fertilization. Will result into a diploid cell again. That means a zygote will be formed, which will be diploid, and from haploid chromosomes from egg cell and haploid chromosome from the sperm cell will restore the diploidy in zygote. Zygote is your master copy, first diploid cell of your body, which will now do multiple times of mitosis, that is equational division, to make the entire body. That is fetus, or later on which will become a human being, right? So this will be a result of hundreds and thousands of mitotic division from the master copy zygote. Millions of cells will be produced as a result of mitosis. So as you know, if you get a cut in your body, new cells are to be produced to recover that cut or the wound. How that process will happen? New cells will be formed out of the old cells with the help of mitosis, not meiosis. Remember, meiosis in your body happens only to produce gametes. That's it. So only when the sperms are to be produced and eggs are to be produced, meiosis will happen. Otherwise, every time whenever the cell is dividing, it is inevitably mitosis. Clear? Suppose wear and tear happens in your body, you are recovering new cells, you are making new blood cells, you are making new retina cells, and whatever cells you want to make in your body, all are the result of mitosis. Clear? Except, as I said, remember always, the gametes are produced through meiosis. That's it. That is reduction division. Chromosome becomes half. Clear? So this is the slide in nutshell. What is fertilization? Sperms entering into the, one sperm will enter into the ovum. Fertilization will happen out of 500 in average. So let me tell you another thing. Around 500 million, it is 60 to 500 million cells, sperm cells, remain present in around 3 ml of semen. Now this is a mind-bogglingly big number, yes or no? 60 to 500. Now one thing more, before I enter into the area of hardcore reproductive science, I know that there are many children here, those who will not take a bio later. They will go for PCM or something like that. They may not, continue with bio. Understanding this, I am choosing this topic because even the students, those who do not continue with bio later on, should have a basic idea of reproductive sciences and the problems associated with it. It is always good to know from the teachers than to go and spend lots of money behind the gynecologists later. Because the problems are there in the population in huge number. So you never know who will require the advices of doctors later. So it is better to know the first-hand knowledge from the book, from the school, from the teachers. So, and with that, as I told this, I also want to clarify one thing more. Those who find this funny, they are not meant to go for bio. If you are feeling it's a funny thing or it's really, something juicy, something, different, so then that is not for you. You don't have the biological bent of mind. So I want you to be taking it as hardcore study material. Okay, so let's come back to the point. This is, as I said, in a single ejaculate of semen, which is around 3 to 5 milliliter, will be having around 60 to 500 million number of sperms. 1 million is equal to how much? 10 lakhs. So 500 into 10. That will be in lakhs. Can you believe that how many numbers it is? So let's go ahead. Yes. This is the fertilization chart where you have seen that how the sperm looks. Sperm, remember, is a single cell. How funny, isn't it? You are aware of a cell being round. Always you think that cell is round, right? Oval to round. It will contain inside the nucleus and some cell organelles. Yes or no? This is our basic idea of cells. Am I right? Am I right or am I right? Because I know I am not wrong. Am I right? Yes. So this is a special type of a cell, but it is still a cell. Sperm is only a unicellular structure, single cell. So single cell being very peculiar in nature, see? But it does contain all the organelles. See, the head contains nucleus, and above the head there is something called acrosome. Can you see? Acrosome contains lots of Golgi bodies. You're aware of these terms. Golgi bodies are located in acrosome. Then comes the big nucleus in the head. Then comes the middle piece which contains mitochondria. And then contains a long filament which contains the elongation of centriole. So all the organelles are there more or less. And the flagellum-like tail moves to make the sperm motile. And you can see so many sperms have attacked the wall of the ovum, but it is only one sperm which can invade into the nucleus region of the ovum. So finally, out of 500, it is only one who wins the race. And we all are the product of that winning race. Am I right or not? So let's go ahead and answer. Here comes infertility. Now fertilization is understood very well. Remember children, fertilization happening is difficult. Fertilization not happening is easy. What do I mean? Fertilization, to have the fertilization, working successful way, there are many reactions which has to go on successful. If any of the reaction, one single reaction goes off the beat, the person will not have the fertilization. So even if sperm is present, egg is present in the same time, in the correct time, in the prime time, still the fertilization may not happen. That is called infertility. So I repeat, infertility is not if a person has become aged. If a lady has crossed 50 years, she is in her menopause, now she is not able to bear child, then we can call her infertile? No. She will not be called infertile. She has crossed her reproductive age. It is normal. But if she is in her reproductive age and yet not able to produce, do fertilization, then it is called as infertility. I repeat, infertility is defined if 2 years of unprotected intercourse is happening, but result is no pregnancy. There is no pregnancy still there. This is a common definition of infertility, but WHO differs with it. WHO says it is if 1 year is also enough to determine infertility. Even if there is 1 year of unprotected intercourse and there is no child, then it is considered as infertility. Indian standard is of 2 years. And but what is sterility? If somebody is thinking infertility is sterility, no. What is sterility? It is absolute inability to conceive. No chances of conceiving. Infertility can be reversed, sterility cannot. I repeat, infertility can be addressed medically and can be reversed, but sterility cannot be. Sterile person can never ever produce child. Next, types of infertility. Primary infertility, secondary infertility. Primary means a couple who never ever had any child. Even after trying for long, no children. But secondary infertility means, well, a couple has already got child before, but later on, if they want, still they are not getting. Like even if they are wanting another child or two children later on, they are not getting. So that is coming under secondary. Now, conception and fertility, the chances of conceiving in any given menstrual cycle is less than 20%. Like right now I told, having a child or getting a fertilization done is less likely than not having. Yes.
What are the reasons for sterility and infertility?
Sterility is, infertility. If there is some defect in some of the areas, we will come to that. But if there are many reasons of infertility, that can be corrected, and the person will become parent. But in sterile people have azoospermia. Say for example, azoospermia means not a single motile sperm is there. So the person will never become a parent. So that is sterility. But if a person has, few good sperms, in a natural way is not able to conceive, but with those good sperms we can do technically something to make the person a parent. So that is the difference between infertility and sterility. I hope that you have understood my dear. Got it? Good.
So now for a sterile person, is adoption the only option?
We will come to that later. Last point will be discussed on that matter. We'll wait for some time. If you wait for a while and see that your questions are not answered, then let me know. So we slowly moving ahead. The chances of conceiving in any given menstrual cycle is less than 20%. So 80% chances are there will be no fertilization. Fertilization chances are only 20%, less likely. So therefore, and main events that occur during menstrual cycle is also there, I guess, class 10 syllabus. But still, I think some of you may not know what it is. In a brief way, may I explain the menstrual cycle in terms. In a menstrual cycle, basically there are few phases. First 1 to 5 days there will be menses. 6 to 14th day it will be proliferation of the follicles. And on the 14th or the 15th day the egg will be released. Egg releases, which is called as ovulation. Ovulation means egg release from the ovary. And the last one is secretory phase. It is not secretary, it is secretory. Means it will secrete some certain things so that it is expecting there will be a fertilization. Because egg has released, the body of the female is waiting for the fertilization to happen. Now, in this particular regard, on the 14th and the 15th day when the egg will be released, remember egg has expiry of 24 hours only. One day it will remain viable. If it is released on 14th day, it will remain viable till 15th. And by that 24 hours, if the sperm is not present around, there will be no fertilization. So you can understand very well, having fertilization has less probability. 6 to 14 day of a menstrual cycle, there will be proliferation of follicles, means production of the egg process will go on. Okay? And only in a single menstrual cycle, single one ovum will be released. Whereas in a single ejaculation, there are 500 million sperms. What kinds are there?
You are saying that being there is very rare.
Yes. Yes.
But India has more population.
Yes, the thing is, see, so many people, so many chances every month. So the chances of having that 20% is also, comes out as so many of people. Okay, so it is very obvious. Now, and moreover, one thing, my dear, it also depends upon the weather condition, environmental things, and carrying capacity of things. You go into Siberia, you will find the fertilization rate is very, very less. Okay, but you go to the more tropical countries, fertilization rate is high. Everywhere, all the tropical countries, because of the good ambient temperature and all that. Next slide, please. So these are the fatafat you will see. We don't have to remember everything. It's just a kind of an understanding that what all could be the reason behind the infertility amongst the male and female. A comparative account. Okay. Hello. Can I have your cost me attention? Okay, just a little bit. So male, female, you can see a comparative analysis of infertility. Okay, I just let me complete. I will come back. So ETOH refers to the ethanol. It has been written in short. Ethanol means obviously you know it's alcohol. So alcohol, drug abuse, tobacco, all these can cause male sterility. So it's kind of an awareness also for you that all these may result into infertility without even the person knowing. Okay. At age, obviously, if the person has undergone a lot of radiation in the form of chemotherapy or chemotherapy को छोड़ देते हैं वो तो drugs के साथ ही related है chemical को छोड़ देते हैं radiation in the form of even if we are working under the sun for a long time we are exposed to UV rays so that is also a kind of radiation so age environmental factors all these may cause infertility even you may not believe excuse me
Pesticides again.
Pesticides are quite harmful. Pesticides are there always in the food. If you are not washing your food well and eating them, you are taking a lot of chemicals. That may cause also infertility in amongst men. Even drinking water in copper vessel is also going to be a little harmful. It's not that I am not saying that it is not good. Traditional practice is to drink water in copper vessels is all right. I know you will come up now. You will shoot me right away. But I know that you might be having that question inside your mind. But remember, copper is polycyclic. Okay. Now against female. Among the female, there are various things which may cause infertility: age, stress, poor diet, athletic training, underweight होना या overweight होना, tobacco, and ethanol consumption are all common ones. Next slide, sir. I had some questions. Yes.
How does athletic training affect?
Because of rigorous athletic training, the person may have the follicles which are supposed to be getting some kind of nutrition and all are here you are seeing a proliferative phase. Follicles should get a good amount of nutrition to be able to make eggs. What happens during rigorous training, exercises and all? What happens? Most of the food is diverted towards muscles. So leaving these follicles and the egg little malnourished. Yes, that is.
What is STD?
STD is sexually transmitted disease. Okay, there are some specific diseases which are only and only passed from one person to the other through sexual means, like syphilis, gonorrhea, and many more. Even AIDS. Yes, any other one? Actually, there was some. Yeah, you were asking something. Hello. What was your question? Done? Fine. Sir, next. So, no. I didn't see the previous one. So here is the basic 4 points of causes of infertility. Causes of infertility and ovulation means if there is no egg release. Ovulation means egg release. If a woman is not releasing egg, so it will be called as anovulation. So if egg is not released, then how will the fertilization happen? So anovulation is accounting for 20% of infertility. Anatomic defects of the female genital tract causes around 30% of infertility amongst the couples. Abnormal spermatogenesis, यानी कि spermatogenesis is a process by which sperms are produced. If sperm's production has some defect, production of sperm process is a long one, and there is some defect, then what will happen? 40% of the infertility is from that end. And last but there are some miscellaneous reasons also which are unexplained ones, which are accounts for 10 to 20% of infertility. Now we will go very fast on these slides. Some symptoms are there through which a woman can understand what all could be the, like she might be heading towards infertility. These are the basic symptoms. I'm not going by every single one because that will take a lot of time. It is just to make you understand these are the common symptoms with which you can all read it. I don't have to necessarily read all the slides. You can easily understand that these are the basic symptoms of infertility amongst women. Yes,
What is that? So what is it?
vasomotor symptoms means motor means when your brain is sending signal to your skeletal muscles to say, for example, my brain is telling me to walk, I'm walking. My brain is telling me to talk, I'm using my jawbone and all that. So these are called motor, vasomotor signals. So these,
Ma'am, can infertility be genetics?
yes, it can. Anything else? Next one.
What's a better exercise?
Yeah.
Exercise.
Exercise, as I answered just a few moments back to him. I think you were not attending, huh?
How is that the
Sim,
same?
maybe, what is it? Exercise is, I don't think it is a correct way to write. What they want to say is, exercising a lot may drive all your nutrients towards muscles and leaving the egg malnourished.
What is
What? Amenorrhea is no menstruation. Amenorrhea, no menstruation. Dysmenorrhea, painful menstruation. Okay, there are many terms related to menstrual defects. So amenorrhea means a woman having no menstruation. Next one.
Ma'am, how does cervical surgery lead to infertility?
Could I get your question?
How does cervical surgery lead to infertility?
Cervical surgery, you said?
Yes, cervical surgery.
Cervical and uterine surgery. Say for example, cervix, you know what is it? Let me draw. This is the uterus. This is the fallopian tube. This is the fallopian tube. This is the uterus. Here comes the cervix. This is cervix. And in India, cervical cancer is very predominant amongst women. Okay, so this is the area which is cervix, and this is the 7 centimeter vagina. So this is the cervix. If some operation or some surgical process has been done on this particular area, it may obstruct the sperm entry. So later on the person will not have the child as such. So these are the history of infertility behind. Like suppose if somebody has a, I'll just work on one particular one, ectopic pregnancy. If a lady has ectopic pregnancy, then she may not have children. Having fertilization is chances of fertilization reduces. Now, what is ectopic pregnancy is very important, and it is also quite common. Okay, ectopic pregnancy means, as you know, suppose this is the egg, this is the ovary, and here comes the fallopian tube. This is uterus. Now, ovary is releasing an egg. This egg has been released, which has been taken into the fallopian tube. Remember, fallopian tube is the place where fertilization happens, not in the ovary, not in the uterus. It happens inside the fallopian tube. Okay, and if in one menstrual cycle this ovary is releasing one egg, invariably in the next menstrual cycle the other ovary, this side the ovary, that will be releasing the egg in the second one. Like this way it goes on. Okay, so suppose that this ovum has been released, ovary say ovum has been released. Now the sperms are coming from here and it has gone over here. Fertilization happens in the fallopian tube. Understood? Now what? Ectopic pregnancy means if after the fertilization, what happens in natural way, normal way, the zygote which is formed here is this zygote will now move to the uterus and get implanted on the wall of the uterus. As such, the rule is this, that the zygote will convert into embryo and will travel from the fallopian tube to uterus and get implanted in the uterus. But in ectopic pregnancy, this does not happen. What happens is rather the Zygote do not move to the uterus. It remains in the fallopian tube only and tries to grow there. Then what will happen? Fallopian tube is not big area. So the zygote cannot grow into a full-term fetus at all because the space is limited over there. Then in that case, mother's life will be at risk definitely. So ectopic pregnancy, if it is the case, immediate medical intervention and abortion of the fetus immediate is the only way out to save the mother's life. So these are all, if this has happened to someone, it creates more probability of infertility later. If once ectopic pregnancy, next time it is chances of infertility is more. IUD is intrauterine device. That means a device is put inside the uterus so that, like for example, copper T, so that the sperm cannot enter into the fallopian tube. So there are many IUDs actually, not only copper T, there are many more. So one very important, I am going to highlight on only most common ones. There are many. List is a long one. It will take 2 to 3 days to complete the whole thing. So we don't have so much time. I have chosen the most common ones, the endometriosis. Endometriosis looks like nowadays, because of our lifestyle and the way we eat fast food and we have sedentary lifestyle, sitting in one place most of the time, and those kind of things do what with our system. Many women are nowadays complaining of endometriosis right in their 40s, 30s, 40s. After 35, many women start complaining about irregular menstruation and followed by endometriosis. You may have heard, you may not have heard. So endometriosis is the situation where the uterus is, as I said, the baby gets implanted into the inner lining of the uterus, and this inner lining is called as endometrium. And if this endometrium is not present, not only present in the uterus, which is generally the case, which should be present only inside the inner lining of the uterus, instead of that, if the endometrium comes out of the uterus, over the ovary, over the fallopian tube, here and there, anywhere if it starts growing, which is called as endometriosis. Okay, which is not desired. Okay, this is not a good thing to happen. So endometrium should only be present inside the uterus where the baby should get implanted. Instead of that, if it grows here and there, then it is endometriosis. It happens because of various reasons. One of them being, fibroid formation, because inelasticity of the uterus, and the endometrium doesn't get enough place to grow, so it grows out. Many reasons could be there. Reasons many a times, even doctors they say reasons unknown. Many a times, medical sciences are yet to be unfolded to its maximum. We are not knowing the answers of many things. So what do we call that thing which we don't know? Doctors have a very nice way to go out by saying that no, reason not no. They have a term for it. It is called idiopathic. Anything that they don't know the reason about, they will say it is idiopathic. Idiopathic, research is going on, not on.
Spotting.
What?
Spotting. Irregular periods and spotting.
Not getting there. Fatigue means thakawat. Nausea? No, spotting. Okay, sorry. Irregular periods or spotting. Irregular periods means periods means menses not happening regularly in every cycle, and spotting means even if it happens only 1 or 2 drops, which should be around 50 to 100 ml blood passing in each menstrual cycle for first 5 days. Instead of that, only 1 or 2 drops called spotting. So these are all the reasons. Other symptoms of endometriosis. If somebody has endometriosis or is heading towards it, will have such kind of symptoms. Next question. So even these types, like pale menstrual blood, irregular menstrual cycle. Next. Hormonal changes, severe acne, cold feet, hands reduced, and these are all various reasons. The next. can be itself or even. Even if a woman is highly obese, can be infertile later. So here is a pie diagram, pie chart, which gives you an idea of infertility in human population. You can see ovulatory disorder means ovum release and its disorder accounts for 40% and other reasons are rest of the 60%. Now what is, you can see this is highlighted, ovulatory disorder amongst the women is very high and it is growing further and further every year. In this, one word is written PCOS. I have discussed endometriosis. Now one very important other thing is PCOS, and let me tell you children, PCOS amongst the teenager is all-time high now. Every 5 girls you will find one girl is having PCOS. It is as high as this. Every 5 teenager girls will have one girl coming up and saying that she has PCOS or has mild PCOS and all that. So we need to know what is PCOS. PCOS is not treated or not reverted back may lead to infertility later. I will say what is PCOS, let me know. So here we go. PCOS full form, polycystic, please write down, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Even sometimes you will see it is written PCOD, means disease, means almost the same. There is minor difference between syndrome and disease. Let it be. So polycystic ovarian syndrome, yeah, we call it as polycystic ovarian disease. The meaning of this is, as I said, ovum should be released from the ovary in menstrual cycle. In single menstrual cycle, on the 14th day, ovum will be released, right? Till here, clear to you all? But what happens in some children or some ladies, what will happen? The egg will not be released outside the ovary so that it cannot go into the fallopian tube. Rather, which is normal, which should happen. Rather, the egg will remain stuck on the surface of the ovary only. It will not be taken up by the fallopian tube. And in such a situation, egg will develop a cyst around it. Have you ever noticed that if somebody is confronting a kind of a burn accident, we will have that person will have blisters on the surface of the skin, right? Have you noticed any time? Have you seen what is called blister? Do you know? Blister हो जाता है. Same way, what will happen? Those egg cells which are released or ovum which are released per month or per menstrual cycle will be stuck to the surface of ovary and will not enter into the fallopian tube. As a result, there will be low or no chance of fertilization because fertilization happens inside the fallopian tube and the egg is not entering into the fallopian tube, it remains attached with the ovary, giving the ovary a blistered appearance. If you see from the eagle point of view, you will see that ovary has blisters all over the surface. This is called polycystic ovarian syndrome. Yes. Why does it happen? Lifestyle disorder. If you go to the doctor, definitely she is going to say, you reduce your weight. Generally what happens, PCOS people will be having a little obesity. So they will say, immediately reduce your weight and your periods will become regular. Immediately head for gym. So your periods will come back to normal. Start eating good food. Do not eat junk food. Do not eat hydrogenated fats. Do not eat a lot of salt. And don't eat a lot of hormone supplement. Hormone supplement means what they actually mean to say is, you see nowadays the chicken, egg and milk are all supplied with a lot of hormones. Right? I am not saying to you that stop eating eggs, chicken and milk. You have to take them because you are in a growing age. But remember, these are the 3 things where the hormone is there. Because if you want to raise a poultry farm, if you want to sell your chicken, you need to supply, give them some antibiotic and some hormones so that they grow fat in less time. So these people are doing this only. This is a business policy whereby chicken are raised with a lot of hormones and their eggs are having hormones. And the most important, most common thing about it is milk. Milk is supplied with a lot of FSH, oxytocin hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone and oxytocin hormone is high in milk nowadays. If you drink that, they play with the hormonal system of female, and that may be a reason behind PCOS. As we wanted to know about what is the probable cause of PCOS, I don't know how much he has heard because he looks like he is interested in asking questions but not interested in listening to the answers. So doesn't matter. Everybody will not be same. Symptom of PCOS. Can I move to the next slide? These are the symptoms. Have a look. As you can see, a teenager girl has been shown because problem is more in them. Yes. Insulin is a hormone which helps to lower your blood glucose. And if your hormone insulin is not working well in your body, then your blood sugar will go high. Some people will have high blood sugar because of insulin resistance.
What is male pattern fat?
Girls will lose hair as like male lose their hair, right? So losing a lot of hair as male, they lose balding effect will be there. So many things are as next. So we have discussed about PCOS a lot. We will not get into the slides in detail any further. Yes. Mood changes are related with your hormone. See, let me tell you one thing clearly. You are feeling good, it's all hormone. You are feeling bad, your hormone. You are feeling angry, your hormone. You are feeling sad, you are feeling shy. You are feeling dancing around. You are feeling to go and propose someone to show love. You are feeling like I'm hated. All are emotions. All these emotions, whether it is positive or negative, are all because of hormones. So mood swing is also related with hormones. Now you are feeling good, immediately after some time you are not feeling good. All hormonal changes. So we have done this. We will get into. As I said, 1 to 10 we have written. In India it is 1 to 5. 5 women out of every 5 ladies, 5 women, 5 girls, 1 will be having PCOS. So we will not get into these anymore. We have discussed. Sperm analysis. It is very important to, before we get into the reproductive technology, assisted reproductive technology that needs to address the problem, we need to know the sperm condition. If the sterility is from the male side. If the sterility is from the male side, we need to understand if the sperm condition is good or not. If the number of sperm is good, if the structure of the sperm is good, if the motility of the sperm is good or not. These 3 things we need to understand. For that, sperm analysis is done in the laboratory. Where do we see? What do we see there? Whether the volume is 2 ml or not. Minimum 2 ml to 5 ml is required for semen for ejaculation. Sperm concentration should be minimum 20. It should be as maximum 500. Okay, 60 to 500 is the good number, but below 60 it is considered less. 20 is the minimum part. Below 20 sperms per ejaculation means the person will definitely be infertile. Next is motility. 50% of the sperm should be motile in a ejaculation. Next, viscosity means how much dense the semen is. So morphology, pH, WBC, these are also there as per the major. These are the first ones. Yeah. Go back. Forward progression means how much amount of sperms are moving from vagina to the fallopian tube. Forward moving. Progression is how much? So sperm count we have already discussed. It should be minimum 60. Less than 60 is not a good idea, not a good thing. But below 20 is very bad. Here is the sperm structural disorder. If you see the structure of the sperm, head-wise, many difficulties are, many disorders are shown. Middle piece, maybe many disorders are shown. Tail, also many disorders are shown. All these are the defective sperms. Sperms with defect in many, in different areas, whether it is in the head, in the middle part, or in the tail. Right? Next, sir. These are the signs of infertility in men. If testosterone is the key hormone for the fertility in the men, if testosterone is no is less, then we can understand that the person may head for infertility. Next slide. These are also some other reasons of male infertility. Next. Obesity, changes in the testes, age, smoking tobacco or marijuana, drinking alcohol, history of sexually transmitted disease, stress, poor diet, all these may account for male sterility. And now we are finally into ART, how to address infertility. We have discussed so far about various aspects of infertility. Now, how to address it. ART. Next. Now, have you heard of IVF? Yes. Very common. You even see the posters of IVF in, on the walls, various places in the stations. You see that, please, if you are infertile, come to visit our IVF facility in our lab. Yes or no? We need to understand now what are these IVF, how people are making money by just opening a fertility lab, and many times they don't deserve to actually get so much of money only because they are paying with the people, those who are into trouble, So finally, if you know that it is an easy process, you will be, at least you will not be approaching, if somebody wants to approach, you will not be approaching wrong people. So next slide. Here we are going to discuss only 4 things of assisted reproductive technology. One is IVF, which is famous, and we all know it is called in vitro fertilization. And the other one is IUI, IFP, and ICSI. Let's now understand these are going to be there in your higher class examinations also. IVF, GIF, and ZIF are generally asked even in NEET examination also. So you need to understand this well now. You will be benefited later on. So next slide, sir. First, before we move into understanding of IVF, let us understand what is artificial insemination. I believe that many of you have already studied about animal husbandry.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Animal husbandry, how to raise hybrid animals, right or not?
Yes.
For example, suppose I want to raise a high-yielding variety of cow, okay, which will give us a lot of milk. Now, if I want to make a hybrid variety of cow right in India, let me see that there are, suppose if I like a particular type of a cow, okay, but I want to make that cow give us more milk, then I will try to hybridize it with an elite bull, right? Will I be carrying that bull all the way from Holland or Australia because the good bulls are over there? No. I'll rather carry the semen of that bull, right? Yes or no? Which is more convenient? I don't understand why you people are not understanding. What is more convenient? Should I be carrying a whole bull? Yes. So the most easiest way is to carry the water semen of that bull, and with that there are 2 advantages. You are not carrying the bull, and number 2, you are inseminating or impregnating many cows with 1 bottle of semen. Right or not? So at a time you can impregnate many cows together. So artificial insemination is a very age-old technology in which the semen has to be put into the female body externally without the participation of the male counterpart, male partner. You can, any doctor can put the semen inside the female body and the work is done. So this is called artificial insemination, very nicely practiced in animals, even in human beings also. Right? If there is any problem, if a woman wants to be a mother without entering into a marital, association, can always go for artificial insemination. Next is in vitro fertilization, very famous. Now we need to understand what is in vitro fertilization very well. Please, all of you pay attention. If you are taking something else, now come back to the point. What is IVF? As you know, we have already said, I have already said, in the first slide you remember that we have told about egg and the sperm. When they fuse, they become, that's called fertilization. All what you are going to do is take the egg from the mother, take the sperm from the father. Since they are not able to do fertilization issue is there in the fallopian tube, the mother is not able to do fertilization, suppose. Then you can do what? You make the fertilization in the lab. Create a situation in the lab where the fertilization will happen on the inside the test tube. All what you have to do is retrieve the egg from the mother, retrieve the sperm from the father, and since they are not able to do it in their body, in the body of the female, that we will do in the lab. In a petri dish, you put the egg, you put the sperm, and put some food here, some nutrients here, and the fertilization will anyhow will happen. Or you can do it in the test tube also. Egg and sperm, and you will find the fertilization happens. So in such a situation, what will happen? We call this, because you are doing the fertilization in the lab, so we call anything which happens in the lab is called as in vitro. And remember, which is anything which is Latin in origin, any name, any word which is Latin in origin is to be underlined. And if it is printed, it should be printed in italics. Okay? Anything you may have come across in English also, certain words like, for example, de novo, deja vu. Yes or no? These are not English words. So always you will see they are italicized. So when it is as per the rule, when you are writing them, you should underline them, right? To show their Latin origin. So anyhow, in vitro is a Latin word where you need to underline it. In vitro means in the lab. What will be the opposite of in vitro? Suppose if something is happening in the body, we will call it in vivo. In vivo is the Vilom Shabd, Ulta of in vitro, right? In vitro is in the lab, in vivo means in the body, right? So we are doing the fertilization in the lab, okay? Because the couple is not able to do the fertilization in vivo, in the body. And now what? After the fertilization happens, the zygote is formed, and this zygote can later be put into the mother's fallopian tube. Job is done. Only one small area is not happening in the body. You are taking sperm and egg out of the correct parents and making the fertilization happen in the lab and reinserting the zygote in the mother's fallopian tube. Done. As simple as this. This is called IVF, and they make money from couples, those who are sterile or those who are infertile, by saying that you have a lot of problems, And all what they do is this simple thing. As simple as this. Right? All of you have understood what is IVF, I guess? Any query, please? Yeah. Next, if there is a problem otherwise, other than fertilization, other problems are there, we can have some other ways to deal with it. IVF is only going to deal when fertilization problem is there, right? Next, we will move to the next word, gift. We will discuss this gift and set, and it will be almost, excuse me, ma'am, how much time do I have? Kushmalata, much time do I have with me now? 10:40 minutes.
10:30 minutes.
10:30? Fine. Thank you. So, we will discuss now the gamete intrafallopian transfer. Gift. Now, I remember to share a small little funny thing with you all. You all had been in which class when the COVID was going on? Okay. So, during the COVID time, I was still teaching 11th, 12th. No change in my mind. You have, you were in class 4, 5, 6, whatever. But I was dealing with 11th, 12th students only here. So at that time, as you all know, we used to teach through online method, right? I was teaching gifts. I have done my job as much as I could to make them understand the thing. And as you know that we were also supposed to take tests, exams as per the rules. We used to take the exams also. And during the exams, what you used to do, your 11, 12 students also used to do the same. You all know what you used to do, right? So I asked the question, expand GIFT, gift, and then explain what it is. A child wrote, when something is given to someone without expecting anything in return. It means he typed gift, and the first thing which came to his search engine, he just copied it without really understanding what he is doing. I mean, in biology, why am I going to ask in the first place what is gift? The way we understand it. Okay, coming back to the point. GIFT. This now you will never forget. With this small funny story, you will never forget what is gift, I guess. Now, GIFT is gamete intrafallopian transfer. I repeat, GIFT stands for gamete intrafallopian transfer. And what is it? Just a second, let me complete this. Suppose if a woman is able to do fertilization very well, but what is the problem is she is not able to release the egg into fallopian tube. Otherwise, if she is able to release the egg in the fallopian tube, fertilization can happen very well. She can go on with it. IVF की जरूरत नहीं है उसको. She doesn't have to go for in vitro fertilization at all. She has good way to do in vivo fertilization only in her own body. But her problem is in the egg cell itself. Egg is not releasing, or egg is not going into the fallopian tube, even if it is released from the ovary. Okay, or it may happen that the sperm is not able to enter into the fallopian tube crossing uterus and other places. So, if the problem is with the sperm or problem is with the egg, then because they are called gametes, so we will do what? The doctor will do what? Just simply take the egg from the ovary directly and will keep it in the test tube, wait for the proper time and insert it in the correct place with a micro needle. Okay, a long syringe kind of a glass made needle is there through which the doctor will insert the gamete in fallopian tube. Because ovary is not able to release the egg well. So the doctor will take the egg from the ovary and will put it in the correct place. This is called as gamete intrafallopian transfer. Clear?
You told in vitro and in vivo. What is intra?
Intra means inside. Inside the fallopian. Like for example, international within two different countries. Interstate within two different states. But intra means inside the same state. Inside the same country. Intra. Inter and intra are two opposite words. Now coming back to the point, if gamete is inserted inside the fallopian tube, we call it intra-fallopian transfer. If zygote is put into the fallopian tube, say for example the person, as I said, IVF is done because fertilization is not happening inside the body. After fertilization is done in the lab, after IVF is done in the lab, where will the zygote be put? zygote has to be put into the fallopian tube. After that, the zygote will travel on its own to the uterus to get implanted. This is called zygote intrafallopian transfer, ZIFT. So there is a difference between gift and ZIFT. Gift may gamete is transferred into the fallopian tube, whether it is sperm or egg. But in case of ZIFT, ZIFT, the zygote, that means after the IVF, the zygote which is produced in the lab is now reinserted into the fallopian tube. It is called as ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. Clear? One is gift, which does not require IVF. One is ZIFT, which requires IVF. Basic difference between gift and ZIFT is gift do not require IVF. Because in gift, only the release of the sperm or release of the egg is the problematic area. You are doing that, taking the egg from the ovary, putting into the fallopian tube. Now the fertilization will happen naturally. So no IVF required. But in ZIFT, IVF is required to be done first. Zygote is made in the lab. Now that zygote is to be put into the fallopian tube so that further the fetal development can happen in the uterus. So the difference between gift and ZIFT, I repeat, gift do not require IVF, ZIFT do require IVF. Done? Please note it down because these are important things which may come in the exam. So last one is IC. Somebody was asking something. Next is ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection, the most elegant one, elegant art, elegant assisted reproductive technology amongst all of the others. This is the most advanced feature also, advanced technology also. During last few years only this has come to the light. These last 20 to 25 years is the history of ICSI, not more than that. So of late we have been using intracytoplasmic sperm injection. What is that? Consider the case where the sperm is not able to invade into the various layers of ovum. The sperm has to be really good to invade through corona radiata, zona pellucida, and then enter into the ovum. All these things are barriers. And in a natural phenomenon, in a natural fertilization, all these barriers are to be crossed by the sperm, which is difficult. So what happens? You make the process easy. Just take the sperm nucleus and take it into a micro syringe and directly puncture the ovum and insert it inside the ovum. So next slide. Next slide. Next slide. This is Durga, who is the first test tube baby of India. In 1992, she was born. Next. Next. This we have discussed already. We have discussed this also. Surrogacy I will discuss next. I want to go into ICSI. Next. 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 We have discussed already. I'm sorry, I did not change the slide. Yes. This is this picture. Yes. Have a look at this picture, sir. All of you. This is the egg cell, as you can see, with a micro syringe. One single sperm is inserted inside the ovum. Now, why we do this? Well, what is the requirement? What is the reason why ICSI is done? If a person, as you saw, that male infertility reasons are various, defects of the sperms. And one of them is azoospermia or oligospermia, means a person who is able to make very less number of good sperms. For whatever be the reason, it may happen so that the man had during his childhood severe chickenpox or typhoid or mumps. These are the diseases which may cause defect in the testicles and the sperm production process. So, as a result, what happens? The person is able to produce sperms, of course, but very less good sperms. Less than 20 million sperms in per ejaculation. In that case, doctors will select out the best sperm out of the semen and will insert one of the best sperm into the ovum. Now this has given a very good advancement on on one more thing. What is that? Can you think of it? Our medical sciences are advancing towards an era where what we can do, see in a population, you see good and bad, thoda less intelligent, thoda more intelligent, all kinds of variation is the key. Yes or no? Variation is the spice of life. Yes or no? If suppose all five fingers were equal, could you have done everything, everybody? No. All five fingers are different, so that is why you are able to use it as per your requirement. If suppose this opposable thumb was not there, it was also like the other fingers, could you have hold anything? Yes or no? No, no. So all variations are required everywhere. Similarly, variations are required everywhere. Where a tall boy is also required, a short boy is also required. You don't know when who will be of use. Similarly, in a population, we require good, bad, tall, short, black, white, and many more shades of color and various other aspects variations, right? But if ICSI becomes the norm, if suppose if I have a lot of money, many people are having a lot of money, what we will do? We will go for ICSI. Whether we are infertile or not, that is not important. What I will do? I will ask the doctor, see, find out which sperm is the best. Because I want my child to be best. Right? Yes or no? Take the best sperm and from my wife take the best egg. Okay, if this month egg is not right, we'll skip it. Next month the egg is right. Egg is good. So we'll go for the fertilization next month. So we are becoming God. Right or not? We are selecting the best sperm, we are selecting the best egg, we are waiting for them to get fertilized in the lab and let the zygote be made in the lab and then let it get implanted in my wife and I will have the designer baby. My baby will have so and so. See? So we are heading towards a very difficult time where we are going to have our good babies. No variation. As I said, variation is the required thing for evolution. So we are heading towards with such technology in such a time where variation will be lost. You are going to have only the required babies.
How do you find the best one?
How do you?
How do you find the best one?
Best form. You can study it in the lab, my dear.
So there are 20 million.
And 20 million, you have to count. See, you have to put your standards, like how much fast the sperm is, how big the sperm head nucleus is. All these parameters will be decided whether the sperm is good or bad. Let it be 20 million. In that we will get, but the person who is having azoospermia or oligospermia will have less sperms, right? From him, we are going to. This was basically made for the advantageous point to help the infertile people. I am telling about its disadvantage also, where we can take advantage of it. Even good people can also use this for making better babies. Yes, it's a tedious process, but we in the infertility labs they do it. Their work is that one. Yes.
How will out of 20 million sperms and more than that, how will select the sperm that is needed to launch?
Yes, there will be like there are parameters. Whatever sperms are qualify those parameters, we will select them out. That is possible. Finally, out of 500 million, even in natural way, also one is only qualifying the race, right? Similarly, in the lab also you can just do it. Yeah.
We like the sperm and place as we have insert the sperm and they
I could not get you feel louder, please.
do they like take the ovum and in a test tube and then insert the sperm?
Yes. Or they can do it both together simultaneously. Yes.
AEJC used to combat genetic disease.
Genetic diseases will remain. If a person is having genetic diseases, those genes will be there even in the sperm also. Genetic diseases cannot be cured so far. You cannot really, with some genetic, gene therapy is there, but it is still not explored very much. So actually, what I wanted to discuss here are discussed already. Gift. I'll go back to those gift and concept slides. Go back, sir. Yes. Here you can see gift. I have told about gift. Here certain things are written. Just go through them. Next slide, please. This is the way how in the sperm and eggs are placed into a fallopian tube from the petri dish. First, the sperm is taken from the father, eggs from the mother. Whichever are good are selected and placed into the fallopian tube. Gift. Yes. 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 That is also covered in IUI में और IFT intrafallopian transfer hospital. Intrauterine means it is instead of fallopian tube, uterus में अपन दे देते हैं. If the embryo is taken and put into the uterus, that's it. Not much. Yes, embryo will be developed into the lab till the modular stage, then it will be put into the uterus. Now, yes. It might be a little bit, but those who want to become parents will undergo these molecular. Anesthesia is there now. If you
Ma'am, but still after waking up and still realizes heart
yes, but that is not beyond tolerable limits. But then there are the provisions for anesthesia is also there. Now we have discussed the intrafallopian transfer as gift and safety already. Next slide, sir. We have done this. And third party ART. This is I want to discuss this. Now consider the case where the mother and the father, among these two people, someone is not able to produce viable gamete. Say for example, father is not able to produce sperm at all. Okay? Or the mother is not able to produce the egg. Let us consider the case where mother is able to produce egg but not able to keep it implanted in the uterus. Okay, what is the option? The mother is the real biological mother, is able to give the egg, fine, the egg is retrieved from the ovary. Now, the IVF, that is in vitro fertilization, is done in the laboratory. The egg and the sperms are fused and fertilized in the test tube, fine, till here okay. But the mother is having problem is in even keeping the embryo in the uterus for 9 months also. Suppose there is some endometrial lining hair problem in the uterus. Mother is not able to bear the child for 9 months in the womb. What is the way out? She can, or the parents can go for surrogate mother. Okay, this is called third party surrogacy, surrogate mother. Now, what is surrogate mother? The mother who is a lady who will be ready to lend her womb for 9 months on rent. Let me tell you now, suppose, can I have your attention, children? Hello? You are talking. Can I ask you now what I am saying? Can you answer? Since you are talking, it is not desirable that you should talk. If you are talking, you are also engaging the other person. Okay. So, what I was telling is suppose IVF is done, in vitro fertilization is done. Now your zygote is there with you. You want to put it into the fallopian tube, or suppose if you want to put the embryo into the uterus. But in this case, the mother's uterus should be in good condition. Suppose the mother has crossed 45 or approaching 45. Her uterus is also not in very good condition. She is approaching menopause. But she has produced her own egg Now this egg is to be, but it has been fertilized in the lab. Now she wants to become mother. Her egg is her own. Biologically, she is the mother, but she cannot give her womb for 9 months. What she will do? She can have a lady who is ready to lend her womb for 9 months. All what has to be done after IVF, the zygote is to be implanted or the embryo is to be implanted into the uterus of that surrogate mother. It is okay. Surrogate mother is also a mother because she is finally going to give birth to the child. In our, Hindu mythology also, Krishna had two mothers, right? So having two mothers is okay. It is better than one, right? You are calling two people mother. So this is okay. Legally also okay. Biological mother will be the biological mother who has given the egg. But she is not giving birth to the child does not mean that she is not mother.
Still the other lady is bearing the baby for
9 months, but that baby is not hers. Baby is she is only giving her womb for 10. That is okay. What is the big problem?
How much rent will they use?
How much? How much is up to her wish? If she wants to charge 1 rupee, she will charge 1 rupee. If she wants to give it for free, her wish. And there are so many people, those who have gone through this. You might not know, but it is very common. Next, we will go fast now. Done. IVF done. Gift done. Gift done. All this done. ICSI done. Done. We have discussed IUI. You were saying, somebody was saying, what is IUI? It is taking the embryo and putting it into the uterus. Done. Very famous film based on this aspect. Okay, if you have not seen, please make some time during your summer vacation and do visit this film. Okay, it is available in the YouTube. You will learn many things. Next is sperm donation and egg donation. It's a very noble gesture, just like blood donation. Sperms can be donated, eggs can be donated, and they can be frozen. Can be kept in a bag in a frozen condition called cryopreservation. What is the name? What is cryopreservation? Egg and sperm cells can be preserved for a long time in -195°C at liquid nitrogen condition in sperm banks and egg banks. There are many sperm banks and egg banks available nowadays. In there, we preserve the sperm and eggs. If a person wants to marry later in life and thinks that maybe if I marry later in my life, I want to settle down now, which is very common nowadays. Ladies now want to settle down first, but ladies have got one problem. Ladies are blessed with only a few years of reproductive age. Okay, she will be remaining reproductive till 45 to max 50 years. But if she chooses to settle down in her life first, say around, which will take around 35 years to 40 years, then she wants to get married. Okay. Once she gets married in the age of 38 to 40 or 45, then she is already approaching menopause. She may not have babies later. Thinking this, nowadays many women are freezing their eggs in their prime youth time. In their 20s, they are freezing their eggs in the egg banks and they are getting settled first in their life using their own eggs from the egg bank later on to get children. It's okay. Similarly, sperm banks are also there where sperms can be frozen and can be used later. Next. Done. Surrogacy is also done. Last option is if nothing works, IVF, ICSI, ZIFT, GIFT, IUI, nothing works. This is the last option, adoption. And if somebody really wants to be a parent, can adopt and be a parent. Nevertheless, he will still will still be a parent. And remember, children, even if in India this is not so famous, Indian people they think adoption is only for the infertile couple. It is not so in other Western countries. In other Western countries, you will see people having their own kids are also adopting, just as a gesture towards helping the society. Okay, so adoption is very good gesture towards your nation, your society. Next. This is my last slide to you. I hope that the meaning hidden beneath the slide is clear to all of you. You all have the depth to understand the meaning of the slide.
Why can't a single male adopt? Why can't a single male adopt?
It is something which the Indian system does not understand. I don't know. I think men can also take care of children, but our society doesn't understand that. Women are only given the privilege of becoming single mother. Men are not, because we think that man is not well equipped naturally to take care of a small child. Anybody else? Yes. In other countries, I'm not aware. Since I'm not knowing, I will not comment. I don't know. Intrauterine insemination, I guess, or something. I'll find it. Next. Intrauterine implantation. Implantation. Next, anything else? I hope that my class is over by the time I have finished, and hopefully this whatever knowledge I could share with you can help you to achieve good marks in your boards later on, and in NEET definitely. NEET, you will have definitely many questions from this topic.
Please share this PPT in the group.
Louder, please.
Please share this PPT in the group.
Sharing PPT is, I think, I will ask the teachers, those who are dealing with this, and definitely ask. Yes. Yes, but this is there in the system also. And I can share it with ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a really nice lecture. It was really interactive, it was inclusive, and the most important thing, honestly, it was one of those very rare lectures of biology where I understand everything clearly. So it was a really nice lecture, and I really appreciate. And the message was that if you had all the doubts, you were ready to attend the doubts and to explain the answers so clearly.
Children, there is an announcement. We will be having a break for 15 minutes just outside of this. But please do not touch. We are decorating some. Our one colleague is getting retired today. No, he is going to after the arrest. So we are preparing something. Please do not touch the decoration that is there. Just you go for break, and just after the break we will be going for the lab activity. It is already mentioned in your. Please sit down, all of you. Please sit down. Children, immediately after the break, you have to carry your bag, and along with the bag, you will be going to the lab. JC only. So you know your batches.